Which project do you want to work on?
What about, let's do that one today.
That one?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Really?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Why not?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on the shower dome today, guys. Just what's another hole in the roof? It only makes sense that we do this because it's cold. It's getting really cold, and the less work we have to do outside the bus when it's really cold is muy bueno.
So we're going to use some of our reclaimed wood here. Not sure what exactly to make the frame, but let's just start getting to work on it.
Yeah.
Let's open this up and check it out.
Whoa. I almost forgot what it looked like. That looks really good.
Nice.
It's shallow. We're gonna try to figure out how to get this puppy to lift up. We're gonna do a nice circular shape.
For the frame?
Yeah.
Nice. And we're using, this one is polycarbonate also.
Yeah. Not
Plexiglass, because polycarbonate is a lot stronger. And this is gonna work perfect. So it looks like they shipped it really nicely with some maybe masking material here to keep it from getting scratched. So I'll leave that on for a little while we're handling it, but then we'll be able to get it mounted. Okay, so one of the considerations we need is this is not square. So making a square frame is completely out of the picture. So we're gonna have to figure out how to make a circular frame so that we can make a circular hole above the shower and then seat the frame in there. So we're gonna have to figure all this out. Not sure if this is gonna work because we haven't seen anybody else do it, but we thought, how perfect would it be to have a circular dome around the top side of our circular shower so that I've got more headroom and we can have a beautiful view of the sky while we're showering.
Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful.
Bye-bye.
Look at that.
Oh, damn, you already have it up there.
The perfect size.
Although it's upside down, that's fine. Well, that's good for tracing. But just to let everybody know, it's not going to be concave into it. It'll be the opposite way and up into the ceiling there.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do we have? We've got room on the sides.
Yeah. I don't know how far, which way.
Because we still have framing to deal with.
You want to squiggle it over. But that looks pretty good.
Cool.
There we
go. The edge of the hole is there, and the framing will come into this area because we've got a 1-inch flange right here on the dome itself. This is a 1-inch flat flange.
Now we got to figure out how to do this frame. Mocking it up.
Mock up. Maybe I should just cut these pieces so that might be easier to do.
This isn't the wood we're using, but it's perfect for our mock-up.
Potentially there. So that distance there potentially is the distance. Let's call it 7 1/4 inch just for easy math.
Are all the pieces equal?
All of the pieces will be 7 1/4 or whatever it ends up being. So for these three, I'm gonna set it to 7 1/4 and see if it fits. Cool. And if it fits, then we'll use the actual pieces that we'll be using. We'll set up all 8 of them and make sure that it fits. So you've got pieces that are being cut in opposite directions. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the 7 1/4 on this long edge right here.
Yeah, 7 1/4 is always the long edge. That's an easier way to remember.
Yeah, because we're not changing the angle, we're just flipping around the wood. So I've got my mark right there, and I want to be right on that. So I've got it squared up.
See if it works.
So there's one piece.
7 1/4 or what?
7 3/8, so I'm a little off. So
just make the whole damn thing 7 3/8.
let's try 7 3/8 then. All right, so let's say that piece goes there. Then we need another piece that's 7 3/8.
I think it's smart to mop this puppy up first.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That's nice.
Cute, cute, cute.
I think that
We onto something?
I think we might be onto something. Although these are different size pieces, like we'll end up using obviously something that's the same size. But let's just set that there for a second and see if the outside diameter either just touches or is within that area. Then I feel like the inside diameter will be able to be cut to that 1 inch, 1.5 inch. We might do a little lip on it. We're not sure yet. We gotta just test it out and see. But I think the 7 3/8 might be the perfect diameter for this dome, which I believe our overall diameter on this was 19. Yeah. And then we've got 17 or 16 on the interior diameter. So I think it's gonna work really good.
Nope.
Nope, wrong.
Needs to be bigger.
Needs to be bigger.
Yep.
Let's see, by about how much do you think? Let's pull the pieces.
1/2 inch at least. That would do it.
See, this is why I wanted to make a template for it.
That's a good idea.
No,
One
this is
side take up a 1/2 inch, the other side takes up 1/2 inch, this is 1/2 inch, that's a 1/2 inch.
yeah.
So it's only a
So
half.
it's a 1/4 inch on each edge, which is a 1/2 inch extra per piece.
Yeah.
You got that right. All right, I'm gonna lift this corner up and just take a peek at what the inside flange looks like. So what if we went like 3/4 of an inch bigger? 3/4 of an inch bigger.
That sounds good. Oh, I think that's gonna do it.
Cool.
Yay!
Oh, much better.
Perfect.
Much better.
That's great.
And we have plenty of room inside for the flange. So let's get a pencil and mark the perimeter on this, just as a visual reference, because I want to measure the, that keeps catching on that crack. I want to measure the inside flange area and make sure that visually we're right, because this is one of those things that takes time to make. So if we've got a 1 inch flange, we actually have on the smallest area 2 1/4 inches
Perfect.
that we can have, but really we're only going to be using probably like 1 1/4 inches or so when we do this, because it's going to be like right on the edge on both the inside and the outside circumference.
Perfect.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. Before we make this dirty old wood into something, we need to get all the nails out of it. Look at that.
The joys of reclaimed wood right here. These are planer destroyers right here.
And it's not our planer.
Smells like pine.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It wasn't as potent as that other pine. Maybe it's spruce?
Might be spruce, yeah.
I don't know. Perfect. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Easily?
Easily.
Cool.
It's enough. Cool.
Here, I'm just gonna mark this right here. Oh yeah.
Shit tennis.
I just wanted to see. We only need an inch there, so.
Sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
We forgot. These came in the mail. Finally.
Finally.
We've got some more Breath Pro. New Breath Pro.
Yeah, fresh breath.
Fresh Breath Pro.
We're gonna have fresh breath for once.
For once, Brian. Whew. It's time for some new and improved Breath Pro!
Oh, that's nice. Can breathe clearly. Yeah.
No, this is not a Gorilla Glue commercial. But we sure as like Gorilla Glue. It's the good stuff.
Winter is upon us, folks.
It sucks.
Go time. So now that we've got it kind of conceptualized, we want the dowels to live inside where it's going to end up being cut. So if this is going to be an inch, that's more or less right there. There's the inch.
The idea is that the dowel squeaks in between.
It stays within there, yeah. So 1.5 inches puts us almost dead on with each of these corners. This around. Let's have it flat all the way around.
Which way do you want to go? This way? We use ratcheting straps for a lot of projects. Like a lot.
We love them.
They're really helpful.
I'm gonna try doing it towards the bottom edge.
Then
so
you can drill in the middle.
Yeah, that way we can leave it on and drill the whole thing.
And you just slide that down a bit.
All right, I'm gonna try tightening it up just a little bit.
Don't push your palms on the seams. I imagine that would hurt if your hand got pinched, especially bare hands.
I think that's tight enough though, and as long as these are all like fairly close, like obviously we're gonna have to sand it and everything, but the corners here I'm also paying attention to because those need to be like right on. So let's look at this again.
Looks good to me.
I think that's gonna work perfect.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go perpendicular to it first. Just so that the drill bit tip doesn't walk on me. I'm gonna go a little bit more. So now I've got that pocket that it could sit in, and I'm just looking straight down this line. Who cares that these two don't match up, just like you just said.
Yeah, I just followed with the first one.
The first one, yeah. And then just trying to be as parallel to the table as possible so it goes in straight. All right, here we go. Oh, before I do this, let's see how far we want to go. Basically bottom out.
Yep.
Oop. What happened there? Let's see, so we're going in this one. So I'll just throw a clamp right there on that seam. Nice. And I'm going full speed on this. You may have to pull out and then go back in because you see all that material that came out whenever I pulled it. And when pushing in, something that I'm just thinking about is try not to move the drill bit once it's in, so that the hole doesn't get wider in there, because we want the hole to stay as tight as possible for the dowels.
Yep. We're gonna glue all the faces of the adjoining pieces. And then just smear with the stick the glue.
And we also numbered the edges. So this one's 3-3 corner, 4-4, 5-5, 6-6. There's 1-1, 2-2, etc. So that when we pick them up, if we pick up multiple ones, we don't lose track.
Yep. And you can use a generous amount of glue. Also,
be generous.
I'm squirting some glue into the holes for the dowels.
Lights project.
They look really good. Come see.
Let's check them out.
So last night our camera died. All of our batteries. We have 3. We have 2 batteries for this big camera, and then the GoPro was dead like usual because it's always a letdown.
All right.
Anyways, so we didn't film this whole process, but you pretty much got the gist of it up to this point. The only thing that you didn't see us do is, well, these 2, but it was the same as the first one, was we put in some temp screws in the corner that we're gonna take out just to like really seal the deal and tighten all of our joints. Temp screws.
So what did that do?
In each corner, it slurped the joint together, and
Slurpy
you can
joints.
literally, when you put the screw in, you can see the glue just like gush out of the seam.
Because it brought them together. So using little wood screws that have a smooth shank around the side, these guys right here, you can see the little smooth shank right there. So once this goes through the wood on the other side right here, then that smooth shank part is right here, and the head of the screw pulls that closer for a tighter joint. So with each of these also, we have these little bitty pieces just suspending them above, and it looks to be that all of these are nice and tight now. So there's our strap setup. Each one gets its own strap. Aaron's pulling out, and since we put the screws in nice and kindly, we can put them back into their jug because we can reuse them.
Boom! Ooh, we've got a really cool side project coming up to keep this barn warm.
So you want to stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. One and done.
Nice work.
Look at that.
And then we'll carefully put that on the hole right there.
Looks good.
Yeah, but I think that I might have mismeasured. Where'd my drill go? Ah, nope. Visually, I thought it was wrong, but I think that, you know what? I think I did cut it wrong.
It looks a little small.
Yeah. Perfect.
The wood on our router sled, is that what this thing is?
Yeah, our
Router jig.
a router jig.
Our router jig was sticking to the seams where the glue is. So I'm just gonna quick sand them down so that it goes a lot smoother. And I'm gonna do it to all of them.
Seems to be doing pretty good. We'll see after we get through one or two.
Remember, kids, this is a science experiment. We've never made a circular router jig, but I'd say now that we're getting the hang of it, we're figuring it out. Do or do not, there is no try.
Oh, Yoda. Yoda is our guru. I think we've got one router thing done. Let's check it out.
Perfect.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
I think that's really good.
Really good. Cool.
A little bit of chatter here, but we'll smooth that out with the sander. Sander. That's fine. We got our diameter, it looks like, so that looks good. And so now we've got the inside edge to do also. But we're going to do all the outside edges first, just because they're router set up for it.
But we need to figure out what we're going to do with our hinge before we get too crazy cutting all these out.
Keep one edge
They're flat.
flat. So like on the neck, this one will be for the lid. No, actually, this one will be for like the inside.
Yeah.
And then this one here, we would keep one edge flat and then cut the hinge there, pinch off the barrel,
Yeah.
screw this into the top piece, screw this into the bottom piece, which would connect to.
Two of them have flat sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this would give us a nice tight close because we can have it positioned properly.
Yep.
And then we'll have, obviously we've got more sanding and stuff to do, but
Yeah.
because these will be flush at some point.
When your bangs drive you crazy, you need a Skoolie side project. Took me a while to grow those out. There we go. That should keep those buggers out of my eyes. Okie dokie. So now I am going to cut this little extra, you see it? There's a little lip here. Oh, there we go. There's a little lip right here that I need to cut off so this is nice and smooth when it goes into the roof. It's likely, well it will, stop at this hinge spot so the roof will come right up to there. So I'm just going to do a little cleaning up with the jigsaw, cut a nice little diagonal here and here, and yeah, it'll be good to go. On this one, I took some wood glue and some sawdust, and I just filled the little holes before we go ahead and sand the edge of it. We'll just make it a little bit smoother. It's not going to be perfect because our router is like 100 years old, but at least we have a router, right? Final note on the masks, they help a lot. Usually I'm sniffling and sneezing and coughing whenever we do stuff with sawdust, so I'm glad that we put these on. How about you, Bri?
Love the masks. They're helping so much.
What?
It's so nice to wear a mask that actually works for what you're doing. So like this is a particulate mask. It's designed to filter particulate. So it's working perfect for our sanding situation.
I'm not sure there's an easy way to do this.
So the idea on this part is we're going to cut the inside circumference circular just like the outside. Obviously we have some work to do on the outside, but trying to figure out where the center is a little bit more difficult because not all these pieces are the same size. And so what we're doing is we're using this big old compass here to kind of center it and see like when this is spinning around about where is it going to hit. So we ended up setting this to 8.5 inches because that was the inside radius of the dome. But then we went ahead and made it just a little bit smaller, so this flange area here would be a little bit thicker, and there would be more surface area to put polyurethane caulking on. Now we need to figure out where we need to move our screw here because we're not going to move the blade anymore, the router bit. And so this is going to be to the edge of the outside edge this time, because this edge, this is going to be screwed into there just like last time. And this edge, the far edge, is going to be just taking out this little bit of material right here all the way around, basically connecting the dots but in a circular motion.
So I wanted a bit more of a controlled environment for this sanding project. So I put it in this old vise. Here, let me show you. Hopefully that works a little bit better.
I'm just flipping it this way. So we have it all clamped together here. This is the tunnel that's gonna go through the roof. It's gonna go through the ceiling material, so we need a few inches for that. We need a few inches to go above the roof line because like whenever there's a crazy torrential downpour, we don't want the opening of the skylight to be level with the roof. It needs to have a curb so that water doesn't just come flooding into the skylight. So that's why this looks so obnoxious and so big. We may trim it down, we may not. We don't know yet. We haven't put it through the hole yet, but we need to make the hole.
It might be cool to have it like as high as we can without exceeding the other skylights.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to sand that smooth.
The edge of it, we're looking at 2 1/4 inch, almost 2 3/8.
To the edge of the hole.
To the edge of this piece of metal here. So now we're gonna go roof side and measure from the top edge of the rivet over this way and see where the flange of the rub rail, this is a rub rail on the roof, see where that ends. Because I'm hoping that it ends right around here so that we can, I don't want that flange to be out here because then trying to flash it's going to be difficult. So I'm hoping that this hole that we've already drawn is the hole that we're going to do all of this to. So we brought our circle in right here and we went up on the roof, we measured, obviously, 1/8 of an inch, the rubber rail stops right here. So we don't want to cut through both of these layers of metal here, only one. Also, something to think about is that we need a piece of furring strip that connects these two ribs together so that we can support the left edge of this. If this is cut where we have our original line, then we won't be able to use this furring strip. So what I think is if we bump it up,
Yep.
and then that edge just kisses it, and then we'll be able to drill in with a screw here,
Yep.
and then also into the furring strip on this side,
Perfect.
and then that'll support the whole thing.
Yep, I agree.
And or use this also, so have
course,
it
yeah.
that direction. What do you think?
Yeah, let's put it up and see how it looks.
If it was bumped up to both spots.
Yeah, why not?
What do you think? Or would you rather it further this
Wow.
way? Do you like it this way?
Cosmetically, I prefer it like more like centered.
Let's do that then. And the reason
We
being
can
is
add
because
another piece of wood.
well, we only need 2 furring strips. We don't need 3 or 4.
Right.
It'll be strong enough.
And it's against that one.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
So reach up. Do you like that spot?
Yeah.
Visually?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do we need to measure?
No.
Or you just want to go with sight?
We're not measuring it.
Let's go with sight. Film Bunny says we're not measuring, just going with sight. So we'll drill a hole right here, and then right over here,
Yep.
and then here, and then on that one there. There's daylight.
Oh, finally, we get some light in this place.
Shed some light on this situation. So the point being with 4 holes is now we're going to go to the roof with the tunnel that's going to come through. We're going to set the edges, the exterior circumference of it on those holes and just kind of line them up, and then we'll draw a line up there. So let's head to the roof now.
I'm not scared anymore. This might just be the last nice day of fall. Tonight's going down to -5 Celsius, so we're just soaking it up. We're like, oh, we'll pull the bus outside. It's beautiful. So here we are. The ring's not quite ready for it, but we can sand that inside and we'll just cut the hole while it's nice out.
All right, so we lined up the outside edge of our tunnel with all of the 4 holes, and it matches up perfectly. We're already off to a good start.
Woohoo!
There we go. So also you're gonna notice that there's an extra hole right here if you like really looked. And the reason being is because we need to drill a pilot hole so that the Sawzall blade can fit in. Now the Sawzall blade's 3/4 of an inch, so I went ahead and got a 1-inch drill bit so that we'd have enough room to move the Sawzall blade around to make our first entrance and to cut around. So I'm gonna start off by drilling a hole with the hole saw. So take a look at this. You're gonna notice that the edge of the hole saw matches up with the edge of the exterior line, or this hole here. The reason being is because I went inside and I measured it so that I would know to put this in the right spot. Because you don't want to drill the hole saw outside of that mark right there, or you gotta patch it up.
Measurement! Brian is a measurement. Fit perfect?
That's perfect. So the 1-inch was definitely a good choice because I'm able to put the saw starting on the line, so I didn't have to like come up to the line if I had done it further in. There we go. And look, our hole didn't even fall through.
Wow! Oh my god!
Right out of the gate, it looks like it's gonna fit really nice.
Oh yeah.
Like,
That's a good size.
yeah. And the idea is that you want the metal to be as close to the wood as possible without being super loose. That way you have less that you have to try to fill gaps to prevent leaking.
What's it like in there?
Oh my gosh, this is gonna make all the difference in the world. So much headroom because it's gonna be like bubbled up essentially, like a dome. Oh, it's gonna be so great.
So, my next task is to vacuum up the metal shards, and then I'm gonna wipe it down, clean it, and then I'm gonna paint this raw metal edge so that we don't get rust. The reason we've been pretty compulsive about these little itty bitty shards of rust on the roof is because when we were up here doing the rails, we noticed that there were little like flecks of rust here and there. And what we guessed that they were from was from when we did our curved skylights, because we were like in the enclosed barn and we didn't think to vacuum the roof or like wipe up after ourselves, and we probably should have because it caused unnecessary rust. Yeah, and because we're not on the roof all the time, we didn't really notice until it got rusty. So anyways, it's not a lot and it's not probably a huge deal because we're gonna paint the roof one more time once we're done all of our roof stuff. But yeah, it's a good idea to clean up the metal shards so that you don't have a rust problem when you don't need it. Now I'm just gonna rub this edge. Brian's gonna clean it from the inside for me.
Yeah, I'm right here.
There he is. I just went down to take a look to see how it was. It's so beautiful.
Backflip. What do you think about that, guys?
I love it so much.
Roll cam.
Hopefully I don't drip paint on your face.
Yeah, I hope so also. Oh, you're already dripping.
Is it?
Yeah.
On you?
Not yet, just past my nose though. Good job.
Dunzo.
Nice. So
I really wish we used this rust coat stuff on the ceiling instead.
on the roof?
Yeah, on the roof, sorry. Instead of the elastomeric paint that everyone ranted and raved about, because that stuff is dirty, gerty. Like every particle of dirt sticks to it and it's ugly. So we're gonna see if we can put this kind of paint over top of the elastomeric paint. We'll call the company and see if it's okay, because their paint sucks.
Nice. So doing that, what it does is it compresses the end and it prevents the pin from being able to just walk out.
So we're on a bit of a time crunch. We're trying to get this done and installed before the sun goes down, but the sun's going down pretty fast. The reason is because it is going to get really cold. Tonight it's going down to -5, so the rest of the week is probably going to be pretty gnarly. So it'd be a good idea to get this all done so everything can dry properly like polyurethane caulking.
All right, now that we have pre-drilled all of the holes in the polycarbonate, we're going to also pre-drill the holes for the screws that we're gonna use. So I've got the top centered on it, and then I made a mark back here so whenever we do pick it up, we know that this one goes with this hole back here. So now that we've drilled one hole, I'm gonna just make sure that it is in fact in the middle of the frame, because it would be unfortunate if it was too close to the edge and it's smack dab in the middle. All right, now all the pilot holes are drilled. I'm gonna go ahead and take off these 2 screws so that we can put down our caulking, polyurethane caulking, and then we'll put all the screws in this one.
I got a big waft of sawdust in my eye. Wear your safety goggles. Because still gets in your eyes even when you wear them. There's your dot.
Yeah. So here's my dot here. That's lined up with that one.
Okay.
Hold that in the air. Yeah, I mean, you could see complete, like, it looks like the seal is like really nice on it.
Good news, my eye is feeling a lot better. I had a really painful night last night. Brian looked at my eyeball with a magnifying glass, and it turns out it looked just like it had been scratched. And with all the gross stuff going on in the world, the last place you want to be is a hospital. So I didn't go to the hospital, but I'm lucky that I was wearing my silly eyeglasses. I actually really don't even like wearing these at all because they give me a headache most of the time. But I am very grateful I was wearing them, because I just got like a poof. I kept getting big poofs of sawdust in my face while I was sanding these beautiful tunnels. So yeah, wear your pro, yo. Woo! Oh, look at that. That is a nice tight fit with just a little bit of light peeking through, hardly any actually.
So that'll be minimal amount to seal, which will be nice.
Great.
And we'll be able to flash it.
Woo.
All right.
Perfect.
Come on up here with me, and I will show you how we're gonna level this thing. So this other skylight is roughly 1.5 inches above. So drop it down a little bit on the front edge. Right about there.
Okay. That actually looks pretty good from in here, but we're probably like a couple inches below the furring strip.
So now we're gonna place this on the peak. So that's kind of what that looks like off of the high edge right there and the high edge right here. So the goal is to be low enough so that we can get into the barn.
You come in here and put it on a pencil mark where the ceiling is gonna be and stuff. I think that it's probably a bit too low and we need to trim it.
Okay, let's go look at it. How are your shoulders?
Smoked.
It looks like we are pretty low here for where the ceiling will actually come up. So we need to trim this up a little bit. So the furring strip's in, and it looks like we've got plenty of room here for it to wiggle around so that we can adjust the height and stuff. So now we're trying to figure out the ceiling material that we're gonna use. We're probably gonna use, I don't know, maybe material that's like 1/2 inch thick or so. So we need to determine whether we need to trim any of this off. So now that this is at this level, what do you think about getting a 1/2 inch board and just having it here to see what it does? All right, so
That's nice.
let's just do that.
So right now it feels like it's about 2 inches hanging down from our furring strips. And if our ceiling material is about 1/2 inch in the shower, then we probably still need to take about 1 inch off of the rim of this, which is fine. It's better to actually know this now. Our other skylights, we're gonna trim, they're already installed. but we're gonna trim them above our heads like this. So this is better.
One use.
You ready down there?
Yep. Well, that's a big difference. How are you up there?
I look pretty good up here. I was gonna throw the level on it, forward and back, and make sure forward and back it's good.
Okay.
Looks like it's in the same spot. All right, I'm gonna put this on here, and then run the long beam on it again.
You should come down here and make sure that your head fits, but it looks really good.
All right, so I'm wearing boots right now, but we still have to put in the bottom of the shower.
His boots will count as flooring.
Yeah, so my head standing straight up, I'm 6'2". I've got room to shower. Shower be coming down this way. Oh, I think this is gonna be perfect.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's secure it to the furring strip. And then,
I think if we countersink this into here and shoot on a diagonal.
I don't know if we can't make that turn with a screw though. We can see if
Screwdriver. We could shoot from the outside?
we can go through this one here into here potentially. Let me get the screw and see how long.
I just don't want to shoot from the inside.
Inside
of this.
that way?
No. Not at all.
All right, then we need to see if we have a screw long enough to go through a 2x4. Yeah, we've got a 3.5 inch screw, and we're going through a 2x4 on edge. So that's gonna fill up this entire one. So by countersinking it a little bit, we should be able to get into the frame of the dome. All right, let's go check the inside because I think that might be far enough. No protrusion. Can you see it through there?
I don't know.
Oh, I can see it right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me see.
All right, no protrusion. Polyurethane.
It's time to go roof side.
Which side?
Roof side.
Flashing piece. We're going to take out the bottom 4 screws here on the hinge, tuck that in underneath there, and then we'll bend those around. All right, so we've still got some more flashing to do on the top of this beauty, and we're gonna put down some weather sealant over top of our flashing once we get the top flashing done. But it's raining, so that stuff won't stick, and we've had enough for today. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.